Queen Motors Fair's Targa 400 got underway with an expo in Queenstown on the Thursday before the event. The poor weather conditions did not help matters as crews went about preparing themselves and their vehicles for the time trial. A good starting position is critical in off-road racing, and as a result, the time trial is taken seriously by everyone. To make matters worse, the heavens opened up minutes before the start of the time trial. There was no letting up as far as the weather was concerned, and competitors would be forced to contend with wet and extremely tricky conditions in the time trial. Reigning production vehicle champions Neil Woolridge and Kenny Scotthammer got their campaign in the new vehicle off to a good start. They set the joint fastest time in the time trial that presented a very terrain for the drivers. The three remaining events in the championship would be used to shake down the Moreka Ford Ranger for its debut in Dakar 2002. Setting joint fastest time with Woolridge were father and son duo Gary and Bodo Berthold in the locally designed and built Nissan P6-powered Emily Glass-sponsored Dirtco. Two-time winners Hanil de Villiers and Francois Jordan were third fastest in the Nissan Hardbody, 31 seconds behind Woolridge and the Bertholds. Reigning special vehicle co-drivers champion Bucks Carolyn and co-driver Henny Testiga had a good run and posted the fourth quickest time in the Mitsubishi Pajero, another vehicle built by SBM. Mark and Peter Breckel are former quad riders who have moved up into the special vehicle ranks. They acquitted themselves well in the time trial and would start fifth on the Saturday morning. Queenstown businessman and sponsor of the event, Greg Harvey and co-driver Boy Stone in the Queen Motors Fair's Jimco had a steady run in the tricky conditions. They would start 6 seconds behind the Breckel brothers. Botswana businessman Atang Makakhaneni and new co-driver Mike Stengel qualified 7th in the Hellman's Logistics Jimco, but a broken side shaft a mere 2.5 kilometers into Saturday's main event forced them to retire from the race. Franz Chepik Sr. shared the cockpit of the V-Motors Chenoweth with Stephen Parker. A back injury forced Chepik Jr., who has already clinched the co-drivers championship, to sit this one out. Mark Ferguson and Blackie Swart are relative newcomers to the sport, and their 9th place in the Drinks Galore Chenoweth was a noteworthy performance. Northwest Province father R.P. Reiniger and Robin Houghton had a clean run in the much-improved Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser and would start 10th. Mark Corbett and Juan Moore have been the winners of Class D in the past 2 events and were leading Class D qualifiers in the Petronas Cintium Isuzu. Bears and Dion Besadno took charge in Class B and were 4.5 minutes faster than Phil Nell in the Look Africa plug-in. On board with Hannes Horbler and Richard Leake as they chased the ailing vacation van Jeep of Stratford Firth and Scott Abraham that was now running in two-wheel drive. Two punctures in the time trial cost the Nissan pair valuable time, and frustratingly, a recurring gearbox problem would see them drop out within the first few kilometers of Saturday's main event. Andrew and Chris Birkin have finally been awarded the 2000 Class E Championship title. They celebrated by posting the fastest time in their Castrol Toyota Hilux in the hotly contested 4-cylinder class. Surprisingly, special vehicles occupied 6 of the top 10 placings in the time trial, with Woolridge and Scotthammer and Gary and Bodo Berthold joint fastest. Biting cold, rain and sleet greeted competitors as they prepared for the 7 o'clock start. Ahead of them lay 400 kilometers of tough racing in the most extreme conditions. Off-road racing certainly isn't for sissies.
We managed to put on poles together with a Ford, so it should be an interesting race, but I think it's going to favour the 4x4s with this sort of rain and mud. It's cold conditions, we don't have a windscreen, they've got a windscreen, they do have an advantage. I think we're probably going to let the Ford go, let them make the track. We'll just follow behind and see how it goes from there.
Not the ideal place I want to start. I normally like to come from behind, but maybe in the conditions today with it being so wet and muddy, maybe it's not a bad thing to start first.
Since when did off-road racing become a drag race? Anyway, Woolridge and Scotthammer, with the advantage of 4-wheel drive, got the whole shot on the Bertholds and bowed away. De Villiers and Jordan were next away and intent on closing the 31-second gap that the Moreka Ford Bear had on them. The former multiple touring car champion has taken to the dirt like a duck to water, and pundits are positioning him as the heir apparent to Sarah van der Merwe. It's a case of watch the space. Carolyn and Verstager had the advantage over the gaggle of special vehicles starting behind them, in that they had the benefit of four-wheel drive and the windscreen. What follows now is a sequence of onboard action from the De Villiers Nissan and the Woolwich Ford. First, De Villiers passed the Bertholds and then sets off in pursuit of the leader. The conditions were far from ideal, but the Moreka Ford Ranger handled the jumps without a problem. De Villiers now had the bit firmly between his teeth and rapidly closed on the Ford. This shortcut gave the Nissan star the lead, and one wonders what Woolwich felt about this cheeky move. Then De Villiers threw away his lead by getting it all wrong. An untimely encounter with a gatepost cost him the lead, and extricating the Nissan from the fencing and stalling the V6 motor cost him valuable time. "40 minutes into the Queen Motor Spares Tarka 400, Woolwich and Scott Hammer in the Moreka Ford Ranger had a slender lead over De Villiers and Jordan in the Nissan Hardbody. Interestingly, some sections of the route were bone dry and dusty, while others like this section were wet and extremely slippery. This power play between the rival teams was a clear indication that the Ford was not necessarily superior to the Nissan. While the Ford and the Nissan were locked in battle, the Bertholds in the M&E Glass Dirt Co had a firm grip on the special vehicle category lead and were just waiting for the leading pair to put a wheel wrong. Queenstown-based Greg Harvey and Boy Stone were having a good run in the Lexus V8-powered Queen Motor Spares Jimco, but were being hauled in by production vehicle championship contenders Bucks Carolyn and Henny Verstager in the Mitsubishi Pajero. Chebek Sr. and Stephen Parker, a former off-road racing driver now occupying the co-driver's seat for the first time, had gained 2 places in the V-Motors Chenoweth. But they had John Weir-Smith and Jeff Minott in their O'Hagan's Kopanong Hotel Jimco hot on their heels. Weir-Smith couldn't relax for 1 second because the Breckle brothers in the Brasco Refrigeration Raceco were closing in on the Porsche-powered Jimco. Terence Marsh made his special vehicle debut earlier this season and was running in the top 10 in the CommuterNet Raceco. The early Class D leaders were the Northwest Province farmers Pete Haasbroek and Christo Bosch in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. There was a battle waging for the Class B lead. Tricky Bertha in the WPP Wingfoot had moved ahead of the Desadenotes, who were in hot pursuit with reigning Class D champion Phil Nell nowhere to be seen. Reigning Class D champions Hein Hobler and Gerard Prinsloo were second in Class D in the Nissan Hardbody, but had Steve Weihelt and Jean-Pierre Joubert in the ex-Woolwich M1 4x4 Pajero right on their tail. Back to the leaders, and you're on board with De Villiers and Jordan in the Nissan as they close in and overtake the Moreka Ford Ranger. Quite clearly, the Nissan has the edge when it came to top speed, but the Ford came out on top in the Torque Stakes.